Philippine President pays official visit to Vietnam. Positive growth in import and export activities observed since start of 2024. And in our news, 5.7 magnitude quake hit northwest China, XINJIANG.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On Tuesday morning at the Presidential Palace, State President Võ Văn Thưởng and his spouse chair a ceremony to welcome Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos and his spouse on their state visit to Vietnam. Following the highest ceremonial welcome for the head of state, the two leaders immediately held talks.
This is President Ferdinand Marcos' first visit to Vietnam since assuming office, and it is also the first visit by a Philippine head of state to Vietnam in over 7 years. The two leaders highly appreciate the recent development of bilateral relations, especially since upgrading the relationship to a strategic partnership in 2015. Political and diplomatic relations have been strengthened through regular meetings and exchanges of high-level delegations. Economic cooperation is progressing positively, with bilateral trade turnover continuously increasing, and the Philippines has been Vietnam's largest rice import market for many years. The two leaders agreed on the need to further strengthen political and diplomatic cooperation, aimed to reach a bilateral trade turnover of $10 billion. They also aim to expand cooperation into new fields like the digital economy, the green economy, the marine economy, and renewable energy. President Marcos respectfully invited State President Võ Văn Thưởng to visit the Philippines, which he happily accepted.
On the morning of January 30th, Prime Minister Phie met with Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos. This marked the fifth meeting between the two leaders in the past year. Both sides expressed satisfaction with the development of the Vietnam-Philippine strategic partnership and expressed their desire to deepen the relationship further. The leaders affirmed their determinations to increase two-way trade turnover to $10 billion. This will be achieved through measures to facilitate market access for key exports such as agricultural products, food and rice. Prime Minister Phie assured that Vietnam is prepared to supply rice to the Philippines in a strategic, long-term and stable manner at reasonable prices. This will contribute to the Philippine food security efforts. Following the recovery momentum of 2023, import and export activities in the early days of 2024 continue to show signs of improvement. As of mid-January, the total turnover of goods from imports and export was estimated at $29.8 billion, which is a 5.4% increase compared to the same period last year. Specifically, exports increased by 4.1% and imports increased by 6.8%. The trade surplus reached $0.38 billion. In the first half of last month, there were 4 products with export turnover exceeding $1 billion, including phones and components, electronics, machinery and components, and textiles. As the Lunar New Year approaches, workers are beginning to go home to spend the holiday with their families. For Benedict fishermen, their year-end trips to the sea have brought them a lot of joy due to the bountiful catch and stable prices, which guarantee them a happy date holiday.
After 20 days of fishing at sea, Mr. Ngô Bình Châu and his 15 boatmates arrived at Quy Nhơn with a catch of over 17 tons of tuna. After deducting all expenses, the crew members received a salary of $300 per person for their trip, allowing them to return home and celebrate Tết.
This year is very exciting. Compared to previous years, tuna fishing output is high and prices are stable.
The important thing is that this year the price is good, so I'm very happy.
In the days leading up to Tet, around 500 fishing boats, mainly ocean tuna fishing boats, docked at Tam Quan fishing port to sell their products. According to the fishermen, this year's weather is more favorable, resulting in better catches. According to the Bình Định Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the province's total seafood output is estimated to reach over 286,000 tons in 2023. The target for 2024 is to achieve a total seafood output of about 296,000 tons.
The consumer price index increased by 0.31% in January of this year compared to last December. The main factors contributing to this increase are the adjustments of the average retail electricity price and the continuous increase in domestic rice prices based on export price. Among the 11 main groups of consumer goods and services, 9 groups experienced price increases, while 2 groups experienced price decreases compared to the end of last year. In comparisons to the same period in 2023, the average consumer price index in January increased by 3.37%. Core inflation, which excludes medical and educational service prices, increased by 2.72%, which is lower than the general average consumer price index. Statistics from the General Department of Customs reveal that Vietnam handles approximately 13 to 14 million import and export declarations annually, along with about 20 to 21 million e-commerce declarations. Processing such a substantial number of declarations is a demanding task. However, the objective is to streamline and minimize administrative procedures in order to facilitate trade promotion.
This enterprise frequently imports machinery. In the past, it had to wait for several days to receive their certificate of origins of goods from its foreign partners via email and then submit it to the customs office. However, now the certificate of origin can be sent electronically to the system, allowing the shipment to be cleared through customs on the same day.
Reducing customs clearance time helps speed up the production process for enterprises.
In the past year, we imported and exported goods amounting to $1.5 billion. Therefore, the reform of administrative procedures in the customs sector has been very helpful. When it comes to imports, customs clearance procedures only take 1 hour, allowing us to pick up the goods immediately.
In 2023, the number of businesses completing procedures at Hanam Customs Branch increased by nearly 11%. The time for customs clearance and release of goods decreased significantly.
Most administrative procedures in the customs field are carried out through the online public service system.
Reducing customs clearance time has helped businesses save significant amounts of money each year, particularly in warehousing expenses. Risk management has also proven to be highly effective in practice.
The General Department of Customs continues to build a data management system to manage risk and perform unified specialized inspections across the country. The second goal is to reduce the list of import-export fields subject to specialized inspection. The third goal is to connect data between specialized management agencies.
Specialized inspection regulations need to be reformed to include risk management measures and focus on important inspections. We can switch from pre-inspection to post-inspection.
According to custom calculations, simply reducing red channel declarations by 5% would result in a decrease of 31,000 declarations that require physical inspection of goods. Similarly, reducing yellow flow declarations by 10% would eliminate about 440,000 documents.
Several key national transportation projects are encountering issues with unit prices and construction standards. Contractor miscalculations are significantly impacting project timelines. The Ministry of Construction and the Ministry of Transport on Monday held a meeting to address and resolve these challenges.
Key national projects like the North-South Expressway, Ring Road 3, Ring Road 4, and others are currently facing significant disparities between the government's construction unit prices and actual construction costs. This long-standing issue, along with other project delays and costs, forces contractors to accept losses to meet committed timelines.
The constructor must buy sand fill at a price of about $10 in the first phase of the construction, which is nearly 66% higher than the price announced by the locality.
Hanoi has various overpass projects on the go. However, state inspection and auditing agencies highlight the lack of established standards, posing challenges in finalizing accounts for these projects.
Local workforce costs are currently at around $15 per day. However, the market rate for unskilled labor is nearly double, and on holidays, it can be even much higher. Representatives also highlighted difficulties in supplying and determining prices for materials extracted from quarries.
Provinces currently release material prices at the local levels, creating difficulties in accurately calculating actual construction costs. Publicly disclosed quarry prices may differ from accurate project budget estimates, necessitating calculations from the quarry for precision.
To resolve these issues, the Ministries of Construction and Transport intend to release around 900 additional unit prices and construction standards in the first quarter. This aims to better reflect reality, ensuring accuracy for construction units.
The Ministry of Information and Communications and the Ministry of Industry and Trade are warning businesses to be cautious and avoid falling into fraudulent traps when conducting transactions. This warning comes after numerous cases of Vietnamese businesses facing risks while engaging in export business with partners in the European and American markets. The Ministry of Industry and Trade attributes the increase in fraud in international trade to various factors, including businesses being subjective, having loopholes in their approach, and drafting contract terms that lack strict commitments. In light of this, the Ministry of Information and Communications recommends that businesses take precautions such as thoroughly verifying partner information and refraining from hastily believing attractive offers from new customers in the online environment. And before moving on to some of the news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, January 30th. Coming up next on VTV News, radio and television station inaugurated in Sai Sambun province. And Vietnam attracts 1.5 million international visitors in January. On January 29th, the inauguration and handover ceremony of the radio and television stations of Sai Sambun province took place in Sai Sambun province, Laos. This project was funded by non-refundable aid from the government of Vietnam to the government of Laos. The project has been ongoing since 2019 with a total investment of over $4.8 million. It includes various construction items such as the headquarters, employee housings, a 75 meters high television tower, and other auxiliary works. The project is one of many aid projects from the government of Vietnam that have made significant contributions to the socio-economic development of Sai Sambun province. It also strengthens the solidarity and friendship between the two parties, the two states, and the two peoples of Vietnam and Laos. With the Lunar New Year nearing, many policy households and those in difficult circumstances in Central Highlands provinces are touched by the love and support from the party, state, and local authorities. Many activities are to be held to motivate locals, work harder, and contribute to the development of the Central Highlands.
Millions of households with meritorious services, policy families, and ethnic groups in difficult circumstances in Zalai province are eager for meaningful activities celebrating the new year.
The people of the Bana ethnic group are excited to receive these gifts.
I am delighted that the state cares and gives support to us workers.
Besides heartwarming activities, people in Zalai province are even more excited as agricultural products such as coffee, pepper, and sugarcane fetch high profits. This helps locals better prepare for the Lunar New Year.
We celebrate the New Year together in communal houses and visit each other.
The provincial party and other agencies have planned to organize dates for people in remote areas, ensuring the motto of no one is left behind.
For this Lunar New Year, 5 provinces in the Central Highlands have spent more than $8.9 million to bring gifts to millions of households. This aims to support villages in remote and border areas to have a better Tet.
Since Monday, January 29th, the number of passengers at Mien Tay bus station in Ho Chi Minh City has been increasing, and it has become somewhat crowded as people from other provinces return to their hometown to celebrate Tet holiday. Some workers have taken advantage of their early Tet holiday to avoid congestions, as is typically every year. According to a representative of Mien Tay bus stations, the current daily departure count is around 23,000 passengers. However, this is not the peak yet. The peak is expected to occur around the 28th and 29th of Tet. It is forecast that nearly 420,000 people from the western provinces will return home to celebrate Tet this year. As a result, the bus station is selling tickets from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. For the majority of workers, rent is easily the most expensive category of their expenditures, particularly in the month leading up to Tet. However, tenants in some part of Ho Chi Minh City have had a wage lifted off their shoulders as they have received materials and emotional support from their landlords. More on this in the following story.
Guan Thanh Loan's family lives in a small room, facing daily struggles to make ends meet. The hardship becomes even more challenging as the Tet holiday approaches. Due to limited finances, she hasn't been able to afford Tet goods, as all her expenses are allocated towards foods and basic necessities. However, she can take solace in the fact that her landlord consistently extends support to tenants on special holidays.
The landlord of this shared house has helped me a lot. The Women's Association also held a low-price fare for us to shop without worry.
The majority of tenants here are low-income workers and students, so they lead difficult lives. Most of them choose to stay here during the Tet holiday.
Nguyen Thanh Tâm is another landlord in District 12 who cares deeply for his tenants. His family would host a New Year party for all of his tenants and give out more than $6,000 as Tet gifts.
I have organized celebration parties like this for over 18 years. My purpose is for everyone to come together and share their emotions. I hope everyone performs well in their jobs so that they can enjoy a joyful Tet holiday.
It's heartwarming that the landlord is willing to support his tenants. He generously provided a year's worth of rent and travel fares.
These acts of kindness and compassion not only hold great significance for tenants, but also contribute to a joyful and heartwarming Tet celebration for the local community.
In January of this year, Vietnam welcomed over 1.5 million international visitors, marking the highest number since the country reopened for tourism in March 2022. This figure is equivalent to the number of international visitors in January 2019 before the pandemic. Out of the 1.5 million visitors, nearly 1.3 million arrived by air, approximately 177,000 arrived by road, and the rest came by sea. South Korea remained the largest market with 418,000 visitors, followed by China. This positive trend is encouraging for Vietnam's tourism industries as it strives to achieve the goal of attracting 17 to 18 million international visitors in 2024, aiming for a recovery of 95 to 100% compared to 2019. Anticipation is building up around the country as the Lunar New Year or Tết holiday draws near. Despite the slowdown in the economy last year, people are largely optimistic about the fresh start of a new year. A report from Bến Tre province.
Bến Tre province is one of the most attractive hotspots for tourists visiting the Mekong Delta. The Tết atmosphere can be felt in the air here.
The scenery is refreshing, accommodations are top quality as well. The rooms are clean, the food is good, the services are abundant, and the staff are nice too.
Business is looking better this year. People are no longer afraid of the COVID-19 pandemic. All bookings are almost full. We are ready for another busy period of domestic tourism.
A rough estimate indicates that tourist arrivals to the southern part of Vietnam during the Tết holiday may triple compared to last year. The tourism industry has concentrated efforts to make the most of the upcoming peak travel season.
We also provide boat rowing services for tourists and ensure safety protocols. We are looking to increase the number of tours so that our customers can experience Tết to the fullest.
Businesses have prepared all the necessary things to accommodate tourists during this Tết season. More human resources have been mobilized, and more unique tours have been initiated.
Due to its geographical and natural advantages, the Mekong Delta is expected to become an emerging travel hotspot during the first weeks of the Lunar New Year.
Coming up next in our world news, 5.7 magnitude quake hits northwest China, XINJIANG. And IDF to boost presence in North Gaza. According to the latest data from the China Earthquake Network Center, a 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck Aki County in China, Xinjiang, Uyghur Autonomous Regions, near the border with Kazakhstan on Tuesday morning. The epicenter was recorded at a depth of 10 kilometers. There have been no reports of casualties. Previously, on January 23rd, the same area was hit by a 7.1 magnitude earthquake, which resulted in the death of at least 3 people and injured 50. The strong tremors caused 40 houses to collapse, along with other property damage. The Israel Defense Forces are expected to increase troop activity in northern Gaza in the coming weeks due to attempts by Hamas to regain a presence here. The Israeli military has also issued an evacuation map urging civilians in West Gaza to move south in anticipation of a potential military offensive in the area. In the meantime, Izzat al-Rishad, a Hamas executive official, has stated that the group is willing to release the hostages in exchange for a ceasefire in Gaza. This statement follows an ambitious ceasefire proposals for ending hostilities in Gaza, developed by Qatar Emir and the intelligence chief of Israel, the United States, and Egypt. Russian President Vladimir Putin attended a ceremony on Sunday to launch the new wintering segments of Russia Vostok stations in Antarctica. He was accompanied by his Belarusian counterpart, Alexander Lukashenko, as Belarusian explorers are currently working together with their Russian colleagues at the stations. The ceremony marked the trial operations of the new complex at the Vostok Research Station. This modern structure is specifically designed for extremely cold temperatures, which can drop as low as minus 90 degrees Celsius. Russian scientists at these stations are responsible for monitoring solar activity, studying climate change development, and researching cosmic phenomena that impact life on Earth. Currently, Russia has the largest presence in Antarctica, with 5 year-round stations and 5 seasonal ones. As computer keyboards and tablets are proliferated in the classroom this century, cursive writing faded across the United States. However, it has recently made a comeback in elementary schools across the country this year as a mandatory subject. Many teachers have dedicated themselves to promote cursive as a tool to promote cognitive development, among other intellectual skills.
Starting this year, California grade school students are required to learn cursive handwriting. At Orangethorpe Elementary School in Fullerton, 4th to 6th grade teacher Pamela Keller was already teaching cursive before the law took effect. Some kids complain about the difficulty, to which Keller has a ready answer.
It's going to make you smarter. It's going to make some connections in your brain. It's going to help you move to the next level. And then they get excited because students want to be smarter. They want to learn. They want to be the top dog in the class.
Experts say learning cursive improves cognitive development while improving reading comprehension and developing fine motor skills. Some educators find value in teaching kids to read historic documents, old official records, and family letters from generations past.
When you're doing cursive rather than printing, and so it's creating those pathways in your brain. It also helps, I would say, with the retention of information, how letters are formed. As you're creating the letter, you're thinking about what is the sound that letter makes and how does it connect to the next letter and what are those two sounds together.
I just feel like it's this fancy how to write, and it's just like fun to learn like new letters.
California became the 23rd state to mandate cursive handwriting and the 10th since 2016. Both legislators and educators hope that by the time students leave 6th grade, they would be able to read and write cursive.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.